Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Tuesday, July 21st, 2015. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Now for the news in detail. Premier of Nevis and Minister of Education, Honorable Vance Amory, met with principals of the various public schools on Nevis to congratulate them on a job well done in the past school year and discuss ways in which they can improve in various areas for the upcoming school term. We'll hear more in this report.
In the Ministry of Finance's conference room earlier today, in the presence of principal education officers, principals, and permanent secretaries, Premier Amory stated that he is pleased with the work the principals are doing.
I think, based on the reports, I believe you have done a good job of containing things, keeping things under control. I think you still strive for that perfection and for that excellence to ensure that you manage the education of our children, and that you have made the extra effort to control the environment of your schools and to minimize the negative situations with which you would have had to grapple during this last school year.
Permanent Secretary in the Premier's Ministry and Ministry of Education, Wakely Daniel, welcomed the principal education officers and principals of the various schools, stating that they are the plant managers.
In my mind, you are the plant managers. In effect, that we respect what you say. The Premier, of course, articulated it slightly different, said you are the persons on the firing line. It's the same thing I'm saying. You are the plant managers. You are the ones running the plant. You are the ones on the ground. So we, of course, have to take what you say. We have to at least give consideration to what you will express this morning. Again, let me welcome each and every one of you. I am certain that the discussion this morning will be fruitful as last year, even more fruitful. And thank you for coming. And I know that the term was a difficult term at times. You had quite a number of challenges, and of course, on the other end of the spectrum, you had quite a number of successes that I'm quite sure that you will express this morning. Thanks for coming once again, and I trust and I sincerely hope that this morning's exercise will be fruitful and edifying.
Principal Education Officer Palsy Wilkin was also present at the meeting.
I want to say how very grateful I am to my team at the Department of Education, my education officers who have been very supportive. It cannot be done by one person. Together we do more. We accomplish much more. I want to thank the principals who have been very cooperative.
Also present at the meeting was Assistant Permanent Secretary in the Premier's Ministry, Kevin Barrett. I'm Pamela Diaz reporting for the Nevis Newscast.
Thanks. Friends and family of Albertine Dovey Elliott gathered at the Zion Chapel on a Sunday, 19th July, to celebrate Elliott's 100th birthday celebration. Present at the event was the Premier of Nevis, Honorable Vance Amory.
Here is one of our stalwarts of the Gingerland community. A woman whom you would never know is there because she's so quiet. But I tell you, as sweet as she is, as loved as she is, she's a no-nonsense person. She doesn't brook what we say locally, foolishness. If something is wrong, she will let you know. I've had the privilege of going there and talking about so many things, and it is through her that I have learned or have been able to come to grips with some of the challenges which we have to face as a representative and as a minister of government, because she was always willing to give good advice.
The Premier also congratulated Elliott on behalf of the Nevis Island Administration, NIA, for her 100th birthday celebration. Also present at the event was Junior Minister in the NIA, Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, who presented the celebrant with a letter from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
And it reads, I am so pleased to know that you are celebrating your 100th birthday on 10th July 2015. I send my congratulations and best wishes to you on such a special occasion. Signed, Elizabeth, to Miss Christabel Elliott.
Williams commended Elliott for her 100th birthday celebration and presented her with a plaque on behalf of the Social Services Department.
We present the plaque. Social Service Department Certificate of Recognition is awarded to Miss Christabel Elliott in recognition of her 100th birthday.
A gift basket and gift certificate was also presented to the celebrant on behalf of the TDC Nevis through the City Drugstore. In response, the celebrant thanked everyone for participating in the celebration.
And I give you all thanks for coming to visit me and bless me and watch me in my face to see that I am 100 milestone.
100th birthday celebrant Albertine Dovey Elliott. Increased patrols by law enforcement in Nevis has made a difference in deterring antisocial activities, and authorities are preparing to expand community policing efforts to secondary and primary schools. A 6-point plan of action to address crime was released to the public last Wednesday, July 15th, and a specific mention was made of greater engagement with the Ministry of Education. Senior Minister in the Federal Cabinet, the Honorable Vance Amory, has publicly endorsed the plan by the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force and said he will use his position as the Premier of Nevis to advance the agenda. Some of the incidents, including fights between students, have been caught on camera and circulated via social media, prompting outrage from the public and investigations by authorities. Such strategies include reinstating the Police Boys Club and the School Liaison Officer program designed to encourage positive activities after school and on the weekend, expansion and strengthening of the mentoring, advising, guiding and instructing children magic program, and the Teens and Police Service Academy TAPS are also detailed in the plan. The ministries responsible for education and social services are also encouraged to reinvigorate their truancy program.
Hi, my name is Janika Smitten, your contestant number 1 in this year's Miss Culture Queen pageant, proudly sponsored by the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis.
I am 18-year-old Miss Kelia English, proudly sponsored by Caribbean St. Kitts Nevis Limited.
Proudly sponsored by Lime. I am the vivacious and the charismatic 23-year-old Marency Roberts.
Proudly sponsored by the St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank Limited. I am 18-year-old Miss Ivania Tibu.
I'm 19-year-old Miss Harsha Parvanan, contestant number 5 in this year's Miss Culture Queen pageant.
I am 18-year-old Miss Nikita Sila, contestant number 6, proudly sponsored by Nevis Land and Housing Development Corporation.
Who will it be? Come see who gets the crown. SL Horsford Miss Culture Queen pageant, Sunday, August 2nd, Nevis Cultural Complex, 8 p.m. sharp.
Welcome back. Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Vance Amory, on a Saturday, July 18th, commended the former educators of the Combermere Primary School for their contribution to the community. The remarks came from the Premier at the opening ceremony for the Combermere School 75th reunion, hosted at the old Combermere School grounds under the theme Reflect, Recall, Relive and Renew.
And what Combermere was at its inception, there's still that spirit and that ethos which remains today, and that is to train our children, as it trained our children before, to be good citizens of Nevis and to be good citizens of the world. And I think this school has done that. It has produced so many distinguished people.
The Premier also stated the significance of hosting the reunion activities.
This reunion is different from a number of reunions we've had before. We've had class reunions, we've had village reunions, but to have come up with the idea of a reunion to celebrate the 75th year of the Combermere School was quite a different and unique thought. What this has done, it has taken us right back to the beginning of the history of the school, and it has brought us here to the present.
Also present at the event was elected parliamentarian in the area, Honorable Patrice Nesbitt.
Combermere School has made its mark on the island of Nevis. Some of the best students from Combermere have helped in ensuring that we build the great nation of Nevis. Some of the best nurses have ensured that we have the best health care in the island of Nevis. And most importantly, some of the best educators have ensured that they continue to nurture great minds in the island of Nevis, so that we have produced great engineers, we have produced great gynecologists, great doctors. And so tonight we have gathered to celebrate the academic excellence of this great institution in the island of Nevis.
Nesbitt also congratulated and commended the staff at the school for their contribution to the community.
To the past head teachers. Yes, ma'am. That's the word I know. And to the past teachers and the ancillary staff of the Combermere School, you have made me what I am today, and I'll change that. You have made us what we are today. You have played a role in all our lives, and I'm sure I speak for everyone who's here tonight.
Former principal at the Combermere Primary School, Lorraine Brown, declared the reunion activities officially open. As a part of the activities, the Combermere Reunion Committee hosted a church service at the Combermere Methodist Church on Sunday, July 19th, and a parade beginning at the Combermere Methodist Church to the Old Combermere School on Monday, July 20th. In the evening, the committee hosted a bingo and games night. Earlier today, they hosted a health fair and breakfast at the Reunion Village, and in the evening they had a night with the Travelers Singing Ministry from New York at the Nevis Performing Arts Center. His Excellency Dr. Kevin Isaac signed an agreement on the exchange of information relating to tax matters with the Republic of Ireland on behalf of the Federation this afternoon, July 21st, 2015, at the Embassy of Ireland in London. Ireland's Ambassador for Britain, Don Mulhall, signed on their behalf. The negotiation exercises on the agreement was completed, leading to the creation of an agreement which was waiting to be signed. Approval was granted for the Tax Information Exchange Agreements, TIEAs, to be signed. The TIEAs is to promote international cooperation in tax matters through exchange of information. The TIEA framework was developed by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, Global Forum Working Group on Effective Exchange of Information, which consisted of representatives from OECD member countries and 11 other countries in the Caribbean and other parts of the world. This is who we are. SKN Task Force, in a press release this week, announced that 35 tons of garbage was collected during the Newcastle Bay Fisher Family Fun Day and Narrows cleanup. The 35 tons was inclusive of 2 boats. The cleanup commenced on June 28th in recognition of Caribbean Fisherfolk Day and continued on Saturday, 4th July. The Newcastle Bay Fishers and community joined with the This is Who We Are SKN Task Force in partnership with the Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority, the Culturama Senior Pageant Contestants Committee, and Green Coast. Permanent Secretary of Agriculture and Fisheries was on hand to lend his support to the initiative.
It's all in an effort to ensure that the Narrows is better managed, and once the Narrows is better managed, the fishermen, of course, will be able to benefit and they'll be able to get better catch bigger catch. And apart from the fishermen, the pleasure craft owners and all the other persons who use the narrows will be able to have a better narrows in which to use. And so I want to commend the organizers of this activity, Janice Hodge and her Ekman team, as well as the residents and fishermen here at Newcastle and all who would have been involved.
The success of the Newcastle Bay Fisher Family Fun Day and Narrows cleanup was made possible by partnerships and the support from local organizations and corporate sponsors, including TDC Limited, Rams, Digicel, Horsford's Value Mart, Uwali Beach Resort, Mount Nevis Hotel, Nisbet Plantation Beach Resort, Compassionate Touch, Ex-Petrol, M&M Tire and Repair, Pemberton's Gift Store, and the Indian Castle Fisherfolk Association, ICFFA. Appreciation is extended to all for their participation in this event. That's it for tonight's edition of the Nevis Newscast. Thank you for viewing. Good night.